brain sluice, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
Brother! Where the hell have you been?
Give me one of these.
What are we doing? Touching fingers?
Just
Finger touching?
Getting it loose. Sharing energy.
Well, what is up, people of Spotify, Apple Pod, Alexa Pod, Stitcher?
What the fuck is Stitcher?
I don't know. They let you choose all these different platforms to stream your pod on. I've never heard of any of them.
What's up, Texas? What's up, California?
Denmark.
What's up, Denmark?
Dude, Denmark likes our shit.
The Danes.
The Danish.
I love a Danish.
We have a recording limit, but that's okay. Let's fucking get into it.
First point.
We did it. Yeah, hurry. We did a pod over Zoom. But
was any of that salvageable?
It was. I think we'll toss it into Premiere content land because it mostly was just us. I'm gonna face the camera or try to
farting and smelling our farts.
It was mostly just us catching up, and then we had a Zoom timer, and then it left.
Yeah, and I felt bad because you were sharing some, it was your dad's anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
Passing, and I had been drinking champagne, and I
were by
wasn't
the beach.
I wasn't locked in the way I wanted to be.
Dude, I haven't messed with this microphone stand in so long, and I miss it. I deeply miss
like
it.
A chump, hey, a chump, hey. Sorry.
They can put a man on the moon, but they can't make my microphone still.
Nah,
whatever.
Not Guitar Center. Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck your stinking butt. What's up? You brought your notebook of life going on?
This is where I write all my stuff.
And for those who can't see, it's an orange notebook and it just says life on it.
It says life, noble notes section, 100 sheets.
100 shits.
Made in Japan, mother. Well, gee whiz. So earlier I was talking to my brother on the phone, and he was lamenting existence in general and our dad. And I said, God is dead and Dad is dead. So that's...
Then you hung up.
What we had. But then I had to further elaborate because he said, I don't care if God's dead. I don't care if Dad's dead. And I was like, well, God is a symbol for humanity's hopes for a better reality. Like religion is us trying to come up with a way to ease our suffering, don't you think? So God being dead is sort of like all hope is lost.
I have so much to say about that.
I want to hear it. I'm not saying these are my beliefs.
Right.
I'm just saying the statement God is dead sort of implies that there's no hope, right?
I feel like when somebody says that God is dead, that they just need more cotton candy shoved in their tiny little squirmy wormy flailing around low bait mouth, and they need to be patted on the head, because to me that's like your ego and what you see, which is always devastation. But it's like a family in Nepal living on the mountainside is seeing something way different.
Definitely.
So it just feels like a really narrow reality. And
Absolutely.
there are days where God is dead in my reality.
Yeah.
And then there are days where you're in Costa Rica in the jungle being surrounded by blue butterflies, and God is not dead. God is very much alive.
That makes me want to ask you what you think God is.
I think it's an ineffable, extremely psychedelic beacon of electricity that we can't ever wrap our heads around. It's the spark inside of our nuclei and the sulci of our brain,
life,
and
sort of
in our gyroscope. Energy. It's the energy in our gyroscope. It's the dog pawing at the proverbial dog
Door to
food
get
box.
out. It's the life force, the energy that propels.
Yeah.
It's like why things try to mate with each other, why things fight for survival. It's like that.
And religion to me is a
motive.
box of cereal. It's like something completely different. Like that's man's way of trying to control. And I think in the beginning when people were channeling and they were writing this crazy stuff and then kings got in there and threw out a bunch of shit and Jesus was saying like, hey, we reincarnate into different people. And then they threw that out. Jesus never talked about reincarnation. We whittled it down to a cereal box of dominion and control. And it's just like, it's not the same thing.
It's interesting that you always revert back to Christianity as the religion.
Right, versus
that's
like
on a
all
rampage
million.
destroying the earth.
I think because that's my American, that's, now I don't follow those beliefs or talk about them or think about them ever. I have Hindu deities all over my house and those really resonate
Slightly
with
more
me.
ancient tradition.
Yeah, and the way that they talk about life and gods and I feel their presence way more. Well, no, I've felt the Jesus consciousness. That shit has barged through my door before and it is insane. Yeah.
Whoa. How can you tell the difference between that essence and something else? Just the way it makes you feel?
I think the essence of deities that I have felt is like really strong and really kind of in your face. And then the Christ consciousness is like, when you're on a roller coaster or you're up on a amusement park ride and you're about to drop, it's that initial drop and I'll dip a toe into that. Like I'll get a hint. And I'm like, and it's like our brains are only designed to get maybe a second of it.
Oh, wow.
And then it disappears really quickly.
Is that what DMT is like?
Probably.
Oh, you haven't done it?
No. The only time I've been offered it is when I was 8 months pregnant at the dentist's office. And
Who's your dentist? Know what I mean?
I'll tell you. I'll fucking tell you. I don't know. I picked a documentary about tempura because you can like pick what to watch while you eat.
Whoa.
To know tempura
It's like the
was
dentist
from,
office at the Thinkery or something.
It's close. It's like, did you know like the Portuguese brought over tempura to Japan? And it's got like a crazy history. It was
That's
really cool.
awesome.
Obviously, there's a documentary about it, so there's a lot to talk about. And he looked at like what I was watching, and then he looked at my tattoo, and then he asked me how my day was, and I said something that people probably don't ever say, and he's like, "Do you want to buy DMT?" And I looked around, and then I looked down at my stomach, and I was like, "I'm not gonna be doing it for like a while, And the idea of
like
doing
18 years.
psychedelic drugs when I have kids just makes me feel like I'm gonna collapse into nothingness. So, but he was telling me he's got like the cartridges, which apparently is not the way to do it. You have to find the real stuff. Allegedly,
He told you not to do it the way he had it for you?
No, he was trying to sell me that, but I had a tattoo artist who has had a million amazing DMT stories, made me desperately want to try it. And I told him that story of the dentist, and he goes, "You do not want a cartridge. You need to find this."
Got it.
But also wouldn't let me in on where he gets his,
Yeah. Does it ever bother you when people claim to know a lot about something? I sometimes get frustrated when people are like, "You're absolutely wrong. This is what you absolutely need to do. I know this 100%." And I'm like, how could you know anything 100%?
I've had that happen, and I asked him why he felt that way, and he's like, "Because I've done both." And he said, "Don't waste your money." He's probably just trying to sell you whatever. He was like, get the stuff. He's like, he said, he was, one time when he did it, he was tattooing. In the trip, he was tattooing and he zoomed out and he looked at himself and then he climbed through his eye, back into tattooing.
That seems really scary because it reminds me of a scene from the movie Smile that I watched where someone climbed into someone's face. It was really scary. I don't recommend you ever see that movie, Whitney.
Do
You
they have 16
specifically.
toenails on a hardwood floor?
Don't worry, darling. We don't have a boom mic. We're not picking it up, are we?
I know, but I'm picking it up in the boom mic of my brain.
Do you want me to exit him from
No,
the
because then
capsule?
he's gonna I'm gonna hire an Uber driver and I'm gonna throw him in the trunk and I'm gonna tell the Uber driver to come back and get me in an hour. And that's how I'm gonna solve this problem. I like that when I look at your notebook, what I see is crackling oat bran.
Yes, because Josh was like, what was that delicious oat cereal that we used to eat? It had like the hole punched in the middle of it. And I knew the name immediately. I was like, try and guess. Try and remember. Reach into your memory bank. See if you can remember.
Did he get it?
I was like, crackling.
Oh, you
He's
gave
like,
him-
crackling oat bran. Crackling oat bran. I was like, yes.
Can you send him cereal? I'm guessing you can't.
Nah, you
No
can't.
food.
No.
How dare you?
But I am buying him these gross butt magazines that he wants for his birthday.
I like that
He's like, sorry, bro, you're the only one who's gonna buy this stuff for me, and I really want it for my birthday. And I've done it like 3 years in a row, so who fucking cares?
here's some porn, dude.
It's BUTTZ.
Oh, it's an actual butt magazine.
It's a magazine called Butts,
oh.
and they're allowed to get it in prison.
Oh, but it's not like a funny comedy magazine. It's
No, it's not like Mad Magazine. Can you
okay.
imagine a butt fold out or like
Yes, I can. I am right now, and I want one.
Let me write that down. Butt fold out. Dude, we used to covet Mad Magazine when we were in middle school and such. Like, if we were at the grocery store, we would probably get in trouble for doing the foldy bit in the back without buying it. Hello.
If he's exhibiting any signs of neglect, it's not my fault.
I think he just loves love. I feel you, doggy.
He's hungry. I can hear it.
His tummy's grumbling?
In my brain, I can hear
I
it.
can hear it.
Dude, I feel like so much has happened too in the last month that it's almost hard to say, but it just popped into my head. Because we didn't talk about the healing that I had, right, with Sarah, and then the reason why I can't have dairy for 30 days and my life has been ending.
Yeah.
So Sarah and I were having a session, and I told her I was stressed out because my sister had just had her baby, and Sarah was immediately like, bring her to me. And I was like, oh, to your house? She's like, yes, bring her to my house. She was getting that call to to heal her. So Erica and I go to Sarah's house, and it's so cool. There was motorcycles in the driveway. Ones that I'm like, okay, you guys are like, whoever rides these like knows what's up. And then you get blasted in the face with just like insane positive energy. She's got like little altars throughout her house. And she does a healing on Erica, like a sound healing. And she's just, you're afraid to be happy. Why are you so afraid to be happy? Your husband needs to come here. What's going on with him? Like she was just like nailing it. And it's so cool to watch somebody just, we've never talked about Erica. She knows nothing about her. Like it was really cool. And my sister goes in a catatonic state. Like, Sarah's like, okay, you can sit up now.
And she doesn't?
I'm like, Erica, nothing. Like,
whoa,
yeah,
she just like can't process it?
No, I don't know. Yeah, Erica was like, I wasn't there anymore, whatever. And
totally dissociated.
Yeah, and on the way back in the car, she's kind of quiet. She's always quiet, but she started making like these really revelatory statements. And I was like, almost crashed the car. I was like, yeah, you are kind of a cold-hearted bitch. I was like, you would never say that. It's like just really cool stuff. But after Erica was done with her healing, she was like, it's your turn. You sit down. And I was like, no, I didn't come here for me. And so she's doing the sound healing, and she is looking at me, and she's like, you need to eat more apples. You can't have dairy. And I was like, I always kind of knew the dairy thing. I was like, fuck you, no way. Like, I don't want to do this. And then she's like, you need to eat more junk food. I was
More
like,
junk
yeah,
food?
yes.
Interesting.
Which with Erica was the opposite. Well, with Erica, she's like, you need to eat more nutrient dense food. And Erica, like, lives off of cheese and potatoes. And,
right.
And then she was like, do you worship a llama? And as she was doing the healing, my whole sight went, it was like when you look at the sun and it's kind of green.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what happened to my sight. Wow. And I was trying not to freak out because you're like, I don't know what's happening.
In a dark room or what?
Yeah, in a dark room. Really dark room.
Jeez.
And then she goes, do you worship a llama? And I'm like, the animal? I'm like, what are you talking? I was like, no. She's like, he's here. And I was like, whoa. And she's like, oh God. She's like, this has only happened with one other client. And she's like, he's laughing and he's pouring milk out. And I was like,
oh no.
I was like, is it Yogananda? Is it Neem Karoli Baba? Is it like, I start listing all these people and she's like, think higher elevation, higher. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know then. I don't know who it is.
Like a Nepalese? She means like
Yes,
physical elevation?
Physical elevation. She said Himalayas. And she's like, the language stuff with these llamas is so hard and they're from a different time. She's like, so they communicate. She had this crazy story about the guy who did my tattoo, who was her only other client who had a llama come through. She had a crazy story about how this llama kept sending her birds.
Oh shit.
And she's like, what's the bird thing? So she started like looking up what kind of birds they were. And it was like the first letter of each bird name spelled out his crazy name.
No way.
And she's like, but that's how somebody from a million years ago would try to like communicate to you the name, and it took her a month. It took her a long time.
That's crazy.
So when she told me that, and I suddenly felt his presence, and then she starts describing what he's wearing and the things I need to do, everything in your life becomes so small.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're like, oh, that's right. I meditate twice a day, every day. There's someone on the quantum realm who's like, good job. Now keep going.
Don't stop.
Don't fucking stop. What are you fucking doing?
There's no end.
Leave me chocolate. Why aren't you leaving me chocolate?
Did you get him chocolate?
Yes, there's chocolate over there. And that goes on. I kick dairy. I am so devastated. Like just absolutely devastated because dairy is life.
She's from the Midwest.
Cheese is life. Dairy is life. Now we are blessed with many alternatives.
Alt cheese.
There's so many. Well, there's coconut milk, I had cocoa queso at Madame M's.
They have
Delicious.
queso at Madame M's?
Coconut queso.
Holy.
It was so good.
Jingo jeans.
And time goes on. I'm riding my motorcycle and he pops into my head.
The llama.
I'm like, this is a strange time to do this. And I see him as like a cartoon.
Huh.
I was like, this is weird. And he's like really exaggerated, like a rat fink cartoon or something like really graphic and strange and kind of anime, like blah, 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 blah,
Is he wearing saffron robes?
Blue.
Oh, wow.
They're blue robes. And I like have another session with Sarah. And I'm like, Sarah, I have something really weird to say about my llama. And she's like, does he look like a cartoon?
No shit.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I don't know. She's like, that's just their avatar. Or like, that's the way that they permeate.
She was seeing him the same way?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so like now I can kind of like I see him more as maybe like air filter in your car, like the thing you hang from the rear view mirror.
Is he like a
flat.
guardian?
I think they're more of a guide. Like, I'm here with you if you are tethered, and these are the offerings you should make to kind of strengthen the connection.
Does it feel like he makes fun of you?
No.
Okay. Because the pouring out of the milk and the laughing, I was like, that seems kind of mean-spirited.
I think it was like if
you can't have this.
Or that's how he's conveying, like, no.
Right.
No. Mm-hmm. But then he showed her a goat. so I could have goat milk. I don't want goat milk.
Too tangy.
It's so grandpa breathy. I don't enjoy it. It's like, once again, if I had to, I would. Wouldn't question it. I don't get upset if that's taken away from me. But yeah.
So how long has it been that you've been off the dairy?
I think it's like week 2. I don't know. I've slipped up last night.
But you
Gratin.
find that your focus, your attention, your visions are getting stronger as a result of leaving off.
Yes, but it also almost feels like it's not necessarily about not having dairy. It's about the discipline.
That makes a lot of sense.
Discipline. You're like, okay.
You have to abide by your llama.
Yeah, I also like, lifting heavy brain weights. You're like,
Hell
fine,
yeah.
I'll fucking get rid of it.
Yeah, guess what? No big deal.
No big fucking deal. I can fucking do that. Take it all away. Give me a spoon. I'll figure it out.
Don't take it all away.
I'll do it.
I know you're capable of much bigger things than just no dairy.
Then crackling oat bran.
I want that.
Never had it.
It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got bran.
Is it like grape nuts? I
Wheat
feel like the
bran.
90s was really trying to cram bran up your butt.
But this is it in its delicious form.
Okay.
It has a little bit of sugar and cinnamon on it.
Now I want to try it.
It's very good. I would like to crush it up and put it as a pie crust
Oh.
on something. I said that to my brother and he was like, oh shit. Yeah.
When's your brother's birthday?
November 12th.
And yours is the 24th?
That's right.
Wow.
We're 1 year and 12 days apart.
Cute.
Yeah, he'll be 35. 35 seems like, what age am I and why? It's so in between.
Or you're peaking.
Not a girl, not yet a woman.
It's a great time. Great time.
I don't know.
Definitely a woman.
I am definitely a woman, but Josh, who knows what he is? A man? A ghoul?
A ghoul. He's a gabagool.
He's a gabagool. He wants more gabagool. It's,
Look at the footage. The light must have changed.
oh, crumb bum. I remember now that you told me the Sarah story when you and Ruby were dropping me off at the airport. That's how long ago. That's how long it's been.
Yeah. That is crazy. Before you went to OBX.
Yeah.
We're going to have a really dark video. It's fine.
That was like September 23rd.
What day is it now? October 20th?
October 20th.
You're back. You're going to leave again. That's only for 2 days.
2 days. And then I'm never leaving again. It feels incredible to be back.
I'm so glad.
Just like flexing in my zone and remembering all my bits. I edited for a long time today and last night. And it feels good again. I feel like I'm regaining my strength.
How long does it take for you to edit 15 minutes? A final product.
I don't edit things that are that long. Do you mean like condensing 15 minutes into 1 minute? I don't know. That would probably take me 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like my magnum opus right now, it's been like 2 days. And I'm like, 14 minutes.
And yours is mostly, you're trying to get the flow
It's all flow.
and not like choppy edit bits, like obvious edits.
It is sorting through over 158 gigs worth of footage.
That's nuts.
Oh my God, there was this clip that was absolutely destroying my computer. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't figure it out and I was getting really upset. So I channeled like clarity and I fucking figured it out.
Hell yes.
Immediately.
How do you go about channeling clarity?
It's like picking up a giant shop vac to your fucking brain and you're like removing all your emotions and you're like, because I have to. That's my job. I have to figure out what is going on.
Yeah.
Whereas if I wasn't pressurized to do it, I don't know if the shop vac would turn on. I don't know.
I think that's huge. I also think that just like stopping and declaring what you are about to do or what you want to do is so powerful to like redirect your, what you call it. I bought myself one of those stick lighters, and because I got those candles, and whenever I light my candles, like the red ones, I associate with like love and compassion and patience. And so when I light those, I think love and honesty and integrity, and I'm just like, every time I light them, I'm like, okay, focus. Now I'm right here, and I'm thinking about these very pure ideals, and I'm trying to make them, follow the heat of the candle and fill the space around me.
You know what's even funnier is red is your root chakra. So your sexuality, your origin, your upbringing, your childhood. Love is green. Love is your heart chakra.
That's so interesting. I have 2 reds, a yellow, and a blue.
So to me, you are going to like your source, and you're filling it with probably the void that was, and it's not.
I just realized I have a green one, but I never light it. It's over on my little family altar, and I never light it.
I think it's because it's kind of confused, right? Like there might be some wires.
And one of the red ones has like Saint Michael, the protector, on it. And I'm like trying to also protect my heart as I open it back up. I don't know.
You light the candles and you get in the zone, the
it
auto
feels
zone.
Good to take care of myself in that way and pay attention to my bits.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your mini 9/11 newspaper I got you?
I was like, damn, never forget on a small scale.
I was like, oh, this is cute. 9/11 in a dollhouse?
Never forget.
Why?
Those are my favorite types of dioramas, If I were to make a diorama, I would have a tiny little ashtray and tiny little cigarettes and like
tiny espresso.
Like tiny little shattered dreams, and that's what I would set up.
It says a lot about the person, the manufacturer of the dollhouse miniature stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
it's another level of realism.
Yes.
It's like, no. It's like when I had my Barbie house. No, I don't want everything to be fucking plastic pink. I want it to be
cool,
real and scuffed and looked like it was lived in, and,
There's a used condom.
That made me think of that Sugar Ray song. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's 4-post bed.
Is that what that means?
I think so. Isn't that gross?
Is that really what that means?
I think
Did you watch, like, what was that, pop-up video or something where they, like, give you little fun facts about...
Mark McGrath was upset with his girlfriend for cheating on him. I don't know why I think that. I don't know that I've ever verified it.
Yeah.
Should I verify?
Verify.
Every morning, Sugar Ray. Come on, Genius Lyrics, don't let me down.
Dude, Genius Lyrics are where it's at.
Sorry for the delay.
Reluctant mediation. Mediator?
Mediator. I'm a reluctant mediator. That's my relationship with my family. My nuclear family.
The family that makes you want to drop a nuclear bomb on your brain.
my mom and my brother. His girlfriend is not that innocent. She's not an angel with a halo atop her head, but a girl who leaves condoms from previous encounters in her bed. Blech.
That wasn't the song lyrics. That was the interpretation.
That was the genius.
Okay.
That was the genius bit.
I see it now.
It's gross. Let's see. What else? I did God Morning America last night.
How was that?
It was ridiculous. I made a little, like kitchen witch, sort of like, I don't want to say voodoo doll, because those are not real, really, but sort of like a fetish. like a doll where you can like concentrate all your supernatural energy and like make it work for you or something. But I filled it with basmati rice and garam masala chicken and butter chicken sauce, so it looked like blood.
What did you fill?
So like a spring roll wrapper.
Oh, okay.
I cut it so that when I soaked it and then wrapped it up around the fillings, it would look like a little doll. And then I bit the head off of it.
Oh my God. I want to see this.
I will bring it to you.
I was
will bring
picturing
it to the
you
world.
like sewing something together and then you filled it with basmati rice.
That does not work for the medium I chose, but I think that it could work for other media. D! Hi, babe. Go down. Go down. Davis. So we're reading more about voodoo stuff. It made me remember my religious studies roots. Because voodoo itself is like French Catholicism plus West African, like Dahomey, Yoruba, and what's the other one? It's like the synthesis of those religions. Like that's what voodoo is. And then there's New Orleans voodoo, and there's like also a version of voodoo in Haiti. But it has nothing to do with voodoo dolls. So
Right.
I hope I didn't do a disservice by talking about voodoo dolls on the show.
You were an entertainer and it sounds very entertaining.
Yeah.
And
But then there's also kitchen witches, which is like a little crone-like lady you're supposed to keep in your kitchen. And she's supposed to inspire productivity and keep you safe from cutting yourself and burning yourself.
I want one.
You deserve one. You should have it over by your Minnesota pot holder.
What do they look like? Like little,
Like a little crone. Imagine like
not like a bust.
a
like
wooden
I have.
Barbie doll, like with a
Oh.
little dress on and a little apron on. And she's probably got a headscarf and a big long nose.
I like that.
I get you one.
I like
Kitchen
that.
witch. It's just good to have something to focus your energies on. I feel like that's my main thing. Like, how do I focus? My candles are a focus. My little dollies are a focus. My 9/11 newspaper.
I am also trying to harness all of my fractured focus into a singular beam. It is so hard.
You've got way more things pulling your focus away.
Yeah.
Full-time job, full-time mom, full-time wife. Plus you got 2 dogs.
You can have them. You can have one.
I will take them. I'll take them for
Do I feel
a
like
big, long
you and
walk.
Dee would be on great adventures?
Oh man, me and D. meanddee.com.
I've been thinking more lately. Our pod that wasn't aired was about prepping because you have some
Oh, yeah.
preppers in your family, and I bought a generator last night.
Oh shit. A gas powered? Kerosene?
Yeah, I feel like they're all gas powered.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you're Ed Begley Jr., then you can power it on your own sense of self-confidence.
And I was thinking about, yes. And then I was thinking about how you and I were kind of like talking about how it's interesting to stockpile food when it's like, it's the system you need, not the food. Like you need
Right.
a system of growing and preservation, not like I'm going to keep all this freeze-dried whatever until I run out, because that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it must be prudent to like have stores of things to eat if your crop doesn't come through, but the emphasis is on preparing to support yourself. Not
Yes.
just eating for 3 weeks and then dying.
Right, and that's why prepping never really made sense to me. It made sense to live off of my own land
Yes.
and to maybe know some doctors that you could call or have a stash of medicine.
Your husband knows stuff.
Yes, and we've stockpiled stuff because of that. But then I was also like, we have this idea of what we think it would be, but systems are so big now that you can't fathom what it would look like besides an empty store shelf.
Right.
there's so much.
And I guess the thing that COVID shows us is that, like, did anybody anticipate toilet paper being the first thing to go?
Well, it was funny. It was like, it was the thing that we were panicked about for no reason that made us
Stockpile it.
And
it's hilarious because in other parts of the world, they don't even use toilet paper.
They're
they
like,
just use a butt.
Oh, you guys ran out of toilet paper? Yeah, in Mexico, it's like you wash your butt.
I used a bidet for the first time the other day, and it surprised me. It was very cold.
Yeah. I accidentally made one go off in Galveston, and it shot up to the ceiling. And I was like, so wait, it's supposed to clean my lungs? Like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to get this to work.
It's like you turn it on because you're curious, and then you're like, whoa!
Yeah, it shot. I was like, that's violent. That was a violent bidet.
This world is so big and yet so small.
And then I was also listening to this podcast of this TED Talk presenter who thought he was going to give this presentation on XYZ. And then he's like, actually, it was the 5 richest people in the world who wanted to be told what their bunkers should have. Because they're billionaires. So they have all these, I've got an underground ranch. And he's like, okay, so what happens when this stops working and this doesn't work, and then, you know, your light bulb breaks, and they're all taking notes. They're like, oh, I need more light bulbs. And he's like, oh, you don't get it. You don't fucking get it.
They don't get it.
And he's like, I love that instead of this CEO of this massive, he was like trying to drop hints at who it was. These people have the power to change the end of the world. And maybe he's like, it's already happened. He's like, first of all, let's all breathe a breath of relief that it's already happening.
The preparation for the apocalypse or the apocalypse?
He said the end is already here, which he's really positive about it. He's like, it's already happening. It's already been happening. You think that there's some day where it stops or where it starts. And he's like, no, This is what it looks like. And he talks about all the waste and the climate change and the food shortages and that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. He's like, these people are so powerful that they could change the systems in which, but he's like, they're too busy running from what they've created that they want to keep running.
I wonder if they really understand the scope of their influence.
I think they do, and that's why they're building. They are scared. A lot of them are scared that people are going to come after them, and they strive for sovereignty. Like they're always striving for something.
You know, they've stockpiled weapons too.
Yeah, I guess
they've probably got their own little army. Because they're scared.
They're all going to fucking turn because money won't matter.
Right. When money doesn't matter turn anymore, around and eat you. They're going to steal your food.
That's why it's like, I wish for the end in that line of, you know, the vacuum of our mind, one that doesn't really make sense.
In our imagination.
Revel in dissent. Like, yes, like take it all. I don't want it. I think this will be great. Like,
yeah, I think there's a big part of us that took a lot away from Fight Club, and we want to watch it fall. You know, like that kind of just deep apathy. Like, I have no connection to this modern world, and I don't know. It just feels like so pessimistic to just wish for it to fall. Because I think there's a lot of babies that we're generating who need a world to live in. So we shouldn't give up. You know?
And I think that the world will, you know, it's just like, we've been here so many times. We think that it's always ending. And the Black Plague was the closest thing, you know, that we got to the end.
And prior to that, the Great Deluge, right? The flood. That was the end of the world for a lot of people.
And there are some people that say that this is the 6th or 7th iteration of man, because
that goes right along with the Matrix.
125 billion years old, and you're thinking that we've only been here for 25,000. You know, it's just like like such a teeny fraction. But also, if you're like us and you've been to other parts of the world where there really isn't order to begin with, or you go to the middle of the jungle and there is no sidewalk, and there isn't really anybody picking up your trash. It's like, this is life.
Yeah.
So why would we think that suddenly in America, it's just, it's different when you're on the brink of nuclear warfare. That's a different topic, but it's like...
different type of apocalypse.
different kind of apocalypse.
That's instantaneous.
But my escape route to Mexico was always like, there isn't a lot of fucking systems there in place. Your AC barely works as it is. You can't go get a new one. It's like, right. I always enjoyed that.
The closeness to not needing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most important thing was the water truck, the truck that delivered your water. But that was about it. Everything else, you were on your fucking own.
I think it would be smart for us to relocate somewhere that has fresh water.
Yes.
Is there going to be fresh water for much longer? Aren't all the lakes shrinking? Not to be doom and gloom. I'm still making plans for the future that
always
don't really take into consideration everything being burning by that time.
I want to know why been talking about the conflict in the Ukraine is really just what wars have always been, which is weapon manufacturers poking each other until governments start shelling out billions and billions of dollars. And I'm like, do you guys ever just, like, are you connected to a machine that keeps your heart running and you're not really alive? Is this fun to you to, like, manipulate societies so
on
that
a
you
global
can make
scale?
So you can make more money because it's so old? Is it a person? Is the CEO of Lockheed and Martin a demon and they like to feed and think this is funny? Or it's like, what is that?
Right. I'll never know. I'll never understand. Like, that level of dedication to committing atrocities and, providing the means to commit atrocities. Like, there's no love. There's no compassion. There's nothing human in that except for greed.
And then the media melon ball scoops you to think you need to be compassionate towards the country that it's like, no, what's happening is so much bigger. Don't feed me some fucking bullshit red herring story about someone else. It's like, no, this is always and historically has always been about weapons manufacturers making money.
But don't civilians still suffer needlessly?
Yes. But why should we give our money? It doesn't go towards them. Like, my Ukrainian barber was like, if you ever, she like went off. And it was amazing because, they're not getting the money. The weapons manufacturers are getting the money. And they don't care. They'll play in your blood until, they're blue in the face. They don't
like
care.
If you donate to Save the Children or...
Yes, she was like, you do not donate to a single charity. She says her whole family's in the Ukraine and is in the capital and was like, no, we don't see any of that.
Damn.
The armies don't see any. It's just like... How
That's
long can they
wild.
keep going on?
Why is everything so fucked up?
I think because
backwards.
Because it comes back to raising a toddler, and you go, "Oh wait, this is your baseline, and I haven't even molded your reality yet or conditioned you in any way, but this is just how you
The
act."
chaos and greed and
Yes,
mine.
It's just a byproduct of evolution from a primate.
That just makes me think of original sin again. I hate the principle of original sin.
Maybe there's gotta be a switch somewhere, right?
Like to turn from good to bad?
No, to bypass original sin.
Tell me more. What you think? What does that mean?
What does it mean? Is there some sort of...
If you're born in Nepal, you don't have original sin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you meditated with your children or connected with them on a psychic level or could remove certain natural barriers would you reveal a Super Saiyan like child that it doesn't feign for candy? I don't know.
It makes me, I mean, that's a really cool idea, but don't we all have to be personally responsible for our own development? If it was just like the mom and dad's job to, hey, set up the baby right, then is that an option?
Dude, why are we getting to the end of the podcast and I just remembered what I wanted to talk about?
Start it over.
We are given nothing. We are never told what sexual assault looks like, what rape looks like, what emotional manipulation looks like, what being taken advantage of looks like. Our parents go, bye. Or
Here's some mac and cheese.
I fed you. Or they try to like shelter. But there's no like these. Well, I also am like saying that your kids will listen to you, which is also.
I mean, that's a huge part of it. Like the kid's like, you don't fucking know shit. Your kid's just like, I don't want to listen to you. You suck. I hate you.
But I bet you if you had all the resources in terms of people and support, and perhaps something like the army, but isn't about killing other people, but something where you could toss your kid in and you are given very specific lessons. Everybody, to me, in my reality in particular, besides like you and Aaron, is absolutely fucking paralyzed. And they think, and I think that this is a condition from American society. There is a pill and it will fix everything. There is this person and they will fix everything. There is this external thing that I have to reach for and acquisition. I don't know. Acquire, thank you.
Of course.
and then it will be better. I think we lost our video, but we should keep talking.
Absolutely.
And then it will change. Then my reality will change.
But that, I mean, I feel like that's capitalist too, because it's like if you buy this thing, then you'll be better. You'll be your better self.
Sure, even when money isn't involved. But it's like
transactional.
There are so many resources at your disposal. It's insane. So many books. You have found books in thrift stores that have changed your reality.
Yeah.
So many people don't reach for that. So many people don't know that they have inherent power.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
How do you demonstrate to people that they are capable of metamorphosis?
I have no idea. I've been trying to think of that too. I don't know if, sure, you can't sit and tell your kid, do this, and there's a likelihood that they're going to say, go away, I hate you, unless the best way is to lead by example, I guess, right?
I think that's huge. Why are you doing that? Look, it's that.
He's stuck.
He got his leg stuck in the window?
It seems symbolic.
The fly is stuck in the window.
He
got himself unstuck.
Probably lost a leg. Oh, he fell.
He's killing himself.
Guys, can you email us at cosmicturd69@gmail to tell us what...
That was weird. It's on the ground now. Murphy's checking it out. Murphy's pooping on it. Gee whiz, I don't know. I feel like I didn't know the power that I had inside me until I had a stable relationship with you. I think having a stable relationship with someone who is willing to listen to you, who is willing to be compassionate towards you, and just like throw you a little snippets of ideas of how you can do better or like be different or change or try something new. I feel like that support is what people need.
Maybe, yeah, like an ear.
Like not a hero, not a hero, because it's somebody who helps you see that you can open up your own doors, you know? It's like someone who reminds you that you are powerful. And let that be a reminder to you all.
That I keep looking at the dead camera.
That you are.
The really expensive dead camera and the door opening with a tiny child.
Hi. Good.
Just getting whipped by D.
Did you go to the park? And you had fun with Papa. That sounds great, babe. I'm so pinchy hungry.
The ice cream truck.
You went to it?
No, maybe it's like I'm doing it the ice cream truck.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I need to get some ice cream.
Oh.
I might have some cash for you. Let me check my wallet. Thank you for podcast. Thank you.
Same time next week then.
You bet. I'll be there.
It's like it got real good at the end. That's always good. Keeps you listening. Did you see the ice cream truck? Yeah. Oh.